Yo, yo, yo. What up, peoples? What it do? Oh my god. I slept like balls last night. Did not sleep well. Sucks. But it's cool, man. We'll have a good day. We'll have a good day. It'll be cool. I can't plug my flipping phone in either. What the crap? Hope everybody's doing well. It's a bit, that's a little bit better, I think. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy flipping Saturday. Hope your weekend's going well so far. We got, obviously, video gaming news for today, October 28th. And then we're going to dive into, what is this, day 4? Or 5. Is that too bright? Might be too bright, dude. Now it seems like too dark. I don't know. Yeah, it seems like the camera's going to have a hard time with the flipping lights in the background and stuff. I don't know. We'll just do that. Whatever. I'm all off this morning. Yeah, it should be episode 4. I think that's correct. Episode 4 is some Alan Wake Remastered. Yeah. And hopefully we'll be finishing it today. Hopefully we'll finish it up today. And then it'll be about that Alan Wake 2 gameplay, which we're going to look at that this morning. Apparently Alan Wake 2 is getting rated very, very well. And we talked a little bit yesterday. There was some concern before the game released about requirements hardware-wise. But it really looks like what Remedy did was overshoot, prepare people for needing more than they potentially would need. And I think that's actually a good play nowadays by developers. We'll talk about it. We'll pull up some reviews. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And but we're ready to rock, man. We're ready to rock for some Alan Wake 2, and the game is being rated very, very well. So let's go ahead and do what we do, man. Let's dive in here. Let's do some video gaming news for today and see what's going on in the industry. Cool? Let's go. Well, I'll do that in a second. Airbnb horror movie Barbarian will soon be a video game. Okay. Marvel's Wolverine confirmed. Dude, this was confirmed a long time ago. Wait, what? Insomniac's Spider-Man and Wolverine games are in the same universe. What is this? South Park makes Baldur's Gate 3 joke and Larian quickly corrects it? We'll see what that is, too. Alright, hold on, dude. Let's get in here. What's the other sport happening right now? God dang, dude. They're all popping off right now. All right, let's see what else we got. Am I reading this right? Best gaming laptop under 80K in 2023. Wait, what? Bro, am I tripping? What? Dude, they might need to address that title. Unless I'm just misinterpreting that. Xbox is delusional if they think Blizzard is the Pixar of gaming. We all know who the Pixar of gaming is. Nintendo. Nintendo's the Pixar of gaming. Let's pull this up and read this real quick. Saw that yesterday. How is Lords of the Fallen doing now? It wasn't really doing great on release, man. Six out of 10. Of over closing in on 14,000 reviews. Yeah. Yep. "32 hours played with 19 crashes. Oh my god, this individual has way more patience than I do. Holy crap, dude. They plowed through 19 crashes of this game. Bro, I'd have been done at like 5 or 6. I've been like, no way. Yeah, I think that, again, I think my sentiment still stands here for Lords of the Fallen. You want a Soulsborne-esque game to play right now, a new one, and you haven't already taken a dive in, go for Lies of P. It looks like that's where it's at right now, not Lords of the Fallen. To be fair, it seems like there are some people that have enjoyed this, but there are a lot of people that also haven't. And there are a lot of traditional Soulsborne fans that I think have taken a dive into this. I think it depends on what you've liked out of the Soulsborne series too. So you're going to probably be doing yourself a favor if you look at reviews first to see what you can expect out of this game. That way you have an idea of what you're going to be getting out of it. Let's do this real quick. While I'm on that front, let's do Alan Wake 2 Metacritic. It went down just a little bit since yesterday, but dude, 89 is still really, really respectable. It's actually higher on PC. It's a 92 on PC. But there are more reviews for it on PS5 than there are on PC also, by about 12. So I'll leave this here. We'll pull this up and we'll talk about this situation here. I think Remedy has done what developers need to look at starting to do across the board, which is because TLDR, this is a very high hardware requirement game. If you want everything this game has to offer as far as visual fidelity, graphical fidelity, you need a big rig. You really do. But it doesn't mean you can't play this on lesser hardware. But what they did was basically come out and let everybody know that like minimum requirements were like posted as still very high, like 2000 series graphics cards, which is 2 generations ago. But, you know, it's still a lot more than what most modern games come out recommending. But I think it's a good play. You overshoot that. Yo, what up, Vault? Bussers, dog. What's going on, man? Happy Saturday. You overshoot that. That way, if you put the minimum requirements out there as being something high, and people start trying to play the game on something lower than what you put the requirements, and they're having issues, that's their fault. You know what I mean? So, I think that that's the way this should go. And I would much rather see a developer... What's up, Davey? I would much rather see a developer push out high required hardware requirements that people would still be able to play the game pretty well with hardware under that, and the game come out real polished. You know? And that's apparently what Alan Wake 2 is. But we'll take a deeper dive into it here in a bit. Happy Saturday, guys. Yeah, we've got this up right now. What is this? Quantum error. Have we seen it? I think we've seen this. Yeah. I don't really know what to think about this, but we'll pull it up, take a look at it again. It's about to release. Look at our other search real quick. Yeah, we talked about that already. Word, Davey, word. Not Marvel Spider-Man 2, right? Like the older one, not the new one. The new one's supposed to be very, very good too, from what we've seen. Yeah, the older one, which is a banger also. Insomniac does good stuff, man. Sorry, you gotta go to work, dude. Yeah, apparently the Five Nights at Freddy movie is pretty terrible. Well, I don't know, I guess. Rotten Tomatoes destroyed it. IGN, no good. Yeah, it's not looking great for it, I don't think. There were a lot of people I think that were excited about it too. So I don't know. I'm not necessarily. I've never been one that was really all that interested in Five Nights at Freddy's, so it wasn't a big deal for me. But apparently, it's not a huge hit with most people. Yo, your family watched it, Vault? Yeah, what'd you think, dude? Or what'd they think? Yeah, footage of horror video games set on North Sea oil rig released. Okay, I think we might have already seen this, unless this is new footage. We'll see. Yeah. I understand. There's a lot of people excited. There's a lot of people excited about it because there are. I mean, it's a huge. There's a lot of hype around it because it's been a big thing for a long time. Like there's like this generation that's been all about that title, right? So I understand that. Um, I don't. Well, here's my thing. I don't think that like I think that you can still make a movie. Like that's a horror genre thing. And I think you can still do a movie very well. And just because people haven't been part of that group of individuals that have been sucked into the entertainment, that IP in the first place, can't enjoy it if the movie's done well. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where they might have missed. I think it's probably good enough that fans of the franchise were hyped enough that it was good enough for them to like it. But it wasn't good enough for anybody that wasn't a fan of the franchise to go, yeah, that's a pretty decent horror flick. You know what I'm saying? Which kind of sucks. So really what it feels like they did is like just make it good enough to fulfill the hype of the people that were already interested in that IP, which kind of sucks. I'm glad that people, that like Five Nights at Freddy's were hyped and excited and might have enjoyed it, but overall, it seems like they might have missed an opportunity there. Oh, is it on Peacock? Yeah, let me know. I mean, that's my thing. Like, just because I haven't taken a dive into Five Nights, it's because I love horror movies, dude. And I would totally watch it. I don't have a Peacock subscription, but I would totally watch it. And I think that's my thing. Is like I would like for it to be good for people that don't have hype about it in the first place. That's where I think they might have missed. That's the impression I'm getting, anyways. But let me know what you think, dude. I'm glad your brother was stoked. That's cool. I remember getting like that. You remember when you were young, you get all jacked up like that? I like seeing my kids get like that. And my kids get jacked about stuff they like. And my daughter's all into Ninja Turtles. She loves Ninja Turtles, bro. Matter of fact, I was watching the Stars play the other night, and their backup goalie has a face mask. I haven't showed my daughter yet. their backup goalie has a face mask, or his helmet is all painted up with Ninja Turtles all over it. And I was like, oh, holy crap, dude. So I took a screenshot on my phone. I pulled it up on my phone, took a screenshot of it so I could show my daughter. Because anything Ninja Turtles, dude, she's just all about it, dude. She loves it. She gets so jacked about it. She actually, we went and did a little like Halloween like event thing last night, and she dressed up as April O'Neil. It's really cool. But I remember getting like that, dude, when I was young. I loved, just getting so jacked, having that like connection with stuff, And companies have really, really found ways to play on that even more in modern times. That connection that like a young audience feels with a certain character, a certain franchise, or whatever. They play on that hard, man. Fortnite. Something about Fortnite's next update. We'll see what Epic's doing here. They're ruining everything else they do, so let's see what they're doing with Fortnite. We've already got this up. Apparently, Wolverine is taking place in the same universe as the Spider-Man games they've been doing. But we'll read about it. Yo, I'm concerned about this. We read about this yesterday. The Xbox October update added keyboard mapping. Added keyboard mapping to their controllers, right? But the only controllers it listed were like their accessibility controller and their elite controller. So it said nothing about being able to map keyboard buttons to a regular Xbox controller, which is disgusting. They're literally saying, hey, if you want this feature, you need to go buy a more expensive controller. It's not weird, it's gross. They did it on purpose, if that's the case. I need to look into it. Let's try to pull it up. So it literally it's a business ploy, right? It's a business ploy to try and make people buy into more expensive peripherals for their equipment. If you want to be able to map keyboard inputs onto your controllers for our products, you need to buy the more expensive controllers. That's the way it came off yesterday. We need a gag emote for like so many, dude. Yeah, you're not wrong. I need to just like edit the like EA gag reflex and just take the EA out of it so we can just have like gagging, just a bunch of gagging, That would get kind of weird though. Let me see this, dude. They are, I will say this, they tend to be more consumer friendly than the other console companies do. I will say that. But they still do scummy stuff, dude. Like, this is one of the things that's really, really gross. Xbox storage expansion. Yeah. Well, apparently it's gone down in price now. But wait, how much is the let's see. Up to two. How much is this? So basically, this is one of those things. The last time we looked into it, it was basically like so. Funny enough, PlayStation's made it to where if you're capable enough, you can actually replace the solid state drives in their devices with specific other bigger solid state drives, right? Xbox, you can't really do that. But what they've done was they worked with Seagate, and I think the only other company is Western Digital. And what they did is they went, if you need more storage for your Xbox, then we worked with these companies to provide you expansion. It's proprietary. It's first party. This is the way you get more storage for your console, and because it's proprietary through Seagate and Western Digital, they were charging people basically like 2 to 3 times what a normal solid state drive of the same capacity would cost. It was disgusting. So it's not like, the same thing like you would go buy like a, $70 terabyte Samsung 970 Evo drive for your PC. That same kind of storage space for an expansion for the Xbox was costing close to $200, dude. Because they got into bed with Seagate and Western Digital and were like, here, you can have this contract, and people will have to buy from you. It's gross, dude. They all do it in some form or fashion. You know what I mean? I will say, and I've said this for a while. I do think Xbox is better. I do think all the way around, Xbox has been more consumer friendly than Nintendo and PlayStation have been, especially over about the past half decade. But they all do it in some form or fashion. And so, I don't know, man. This is what we need to find out, though, because the thing. See, this is what we read yesterday. It was just for their like what do they call that left controller up there? Yeah, right here. Look, getting started with keyboard button mapping for Xbox controllers. Open the Xbox accessories app on an Xbox or PC where your Xbox Elite Wireless Controller Series 2 or Xbox Adaptive Controller is connected and powered on. They're literally saying that it has to be one of these two controllers. Not all Xbox controllers can do this, apparently. Choose any button on your Elite Series 2 or port on your Xbox Adaptive Controller. Why? There's no other reason, dude. There's no other reason for them to do this other than trying to bait people into paying way more for a controller, buying more expensive hardware. You know what I mean? When this should be a quality of life option for gamers, is what this should be. This should be a quality of life for buying into a platform, is what it should be. For a company, Microsoft, that is both a gaming company on the console front and the PC front, this absolutely for Microsoft should be a quality of life thing for all of their consumers. It shouldn't be about, oh, if you have the right controller, one of our expensive controllers, you know, that's gross, dude. We already have Soup. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Um, Davey. I think now the MSM2 is out. Insomniac. Yeah, we've talked about that too. Yeah, we've talked about that too. Yeah, I mean, I've been talking for a while about I just wanted them to release Spider-Man 2 because while I know that game's going to be good, I don't plan on playing it. Spider-Man's not really my jam, so I don't have a lot of want to play the Spider-Man stuff. The entire reason I wanted them to get Spider-Man 2 released is so they could work on Wolverine. But we actually have a Wolverine article pulled up today we're going to talk about. Little stressed about your future. Oh, that sucks, Soup. Unemployment feeling is so wearing. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I'm so sorry, friendo. You'll be in our thoughts, and hopefully something will work out for you soon, Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you too, Vault. Yeah, for sure, buddy. Yeah, Soup. We've seen the PS5 Slim stuff, and we've talked about the if I'm guessing you already know that the detachable optical drive requires an internet connection to connect that drive to a PS5 Slim and everything, right? You've seen all that? Yeah. So I understand a lot of reasoning behind it, but there is some concern behind that as well, right? We'll see. Yep. I understand certain reasoning as to why they might have needed to do it. I'm not blind to some of that. But there is some concern behind it too. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Yep. We hit on that a few days ago, actually, in the news. Yeah. Well, there's an issue of detecting whether it's authentic. So they're trying to prevent third-party manufacturers from being able to infringe on their business. But it's also a matter of trying to keep people from being able to pirate stuff too. There's always an issue in the console world of doing your very best to try and prevent piracy. I mean, in the gaming industry is all the way around, right? But console world is always doing everything they can to prevent piracy. There's issues of piracy with detachable drives, right? If you can take a detachable drive and it'll just work on anything, then you can just hook it up to a PC. You can start using all kinds of different software on it, stuff like that. Exactly. So that's one of the reasons probably that they're trying, another reason anyways, that they're incorporating a requirement for it to connect and attach to the device through authentication, um, to prevent certain types of piracy thing. But look, man, people are really smart, and they'll figure out ways to get done what they need to get done or what they want to get done. So I don't know. It'll prevent stuff to an extent, but there are a lot of really smart people out there too. We'll see what happens with it. But yeah, dude, Davey, I'm really stoked for Wolverine, dude. Wolverine's always been one of my favorite superhero characters because I like as a kid I always liked Wolverine a lot. Um, he was always just a little bit off the rails, he wasn't. He was more you know anti-hero than he was superhero. He was a bit um jaded. He had conflicted backstory and stuff, and I always liked that about him. So I'm really really excited, and I'm so glad Insomniac's making. I agree, dude. It's probably gonna be a fire game, and Unfortunately, it's probably going to be PlayStation proprietary on release, meaning that I won't play it on release because I'm not going to buy a PlayStation just to play that game. I'll wait for it to release on PC, but I'll avoid all spoilers and stuff. But I'm so glad Insomniac's making it. As opposed to like who we see making most of the other Marvel games right now, which is EA. Hard pass, dude. I'm so glad Insomniac's making Wolverine. Um uh why do I look like Aquaman? Cuz I'm tired. No, because of my hair, maybe, you know. You talking about Momoa? I don't look like Jason Momoa, dude. Jason Momoa looks like me. I'm I'm literally fat Thor Aquaman, I guess, is what it is. That's what I've become. Fat Thor Aquaman. Um, Yo, I'll take that. There are a lot of people that find Momoa to be a pretty individual, so I'll accept that. I'm like Make a Wish, but not even close to even Make a Wish. Aquaman. It's probably a lot of it's probably the hair, man. A lot of it's probably the hair. I've got it all pulled back today and everything. Yeah, it's getting long. The hair's getting long. Um, so the yeah, you were talking about Horizon Forbidden West will be out next year on PC. Yeah, they just came out with the complete edition too, right? Or is it? It's about to hit the complete edition. That'll have all the DLC and everything in it too. Yeah. Oh, which is cool. Like Link's older brother. Nice, dude. Like it. Oh my god, dude. I've been talking crap on Disney for this stuff. Look, dude, I'm going to pull this up. We're going to talk about this. Disney can get wrecked, bro. Disney keeps coming out with these games and going, hey, man, our game's free to play. Our game's free to play. They did it with Disney Dreamlight Valley. They've done it with their recent Mario Kart flipping, what's the name of that one? Disney Speedstorm or whatever. And I've been talking crap on them the whole time because what they do is they come out and they go, yo, our game's free to play. Fine writing when it full releases. But what they do is they keep these games in early access for years. And the early access is like, oh, hey, well, if you want to play it, then, you know, so I don't think they did this with Disney Dreamlight Valley. It was free in early access, but they are changing it now to where it's not going to be free to play. But Speedstorm is one of the games recently that they did this same thing on, where it's going to be free to play, but it's been in early access forever. And if you wanted to play the game at all, you had to buy a founder's pack to play the game. So it wasn't really free to play. It cost just like any other game did. But Disney found a way to try and tell everybody that it was a free to play game, even though it's really not. It's so gross, dude. Disgusting. Disney can get wrecked. And now we're hearing that Disney's potentially in the market to buy EA. Bro, I cannot see two more disgusting companies to get into bed together. Jesus Christ. It's so gross. Just the thought of that, man, makes me just want to, start throwing up or, you know, A new Vancouver-based EA, the very least gag EA studio. EA. Sorry, guys, it's so hard to say that without wanting to throw up. Wait, what? 35% PlayStation price? Oh, you're talking about the increases on the PS Plus stuff? Is that what you were talking about, Soup? Starbreeze apologizes for lack of updates on Payday 3. Yo, I've got an article out about Payday 3 shenanigans. Here. Payday 3 can get wrecked. Starbreeze is stupid. They ruined a great franchise. There you go. I loved Payday 2. Payday 2 was phenomenal. It was so good. And 10 years later, roughly a little over 10 years later, here we have Starbreeze coming in going, it's time for the next iteration, right? Time for the next game. Time for Payday 3. And what all of us longtime fans of Payday 2 expected was a bit of an overhaul graphically, maybe audio, some of the gameplay mechanics, but for the core of the game to still be there, right? They busted that game up, dude. They really, really screwed it. It's like, that long time sentiment of like, if it's not broken, don't fix it. They took so many of the things that made Payday 2 so good, and for some reason, they totally changed them and ruined them. And it's just turned into an absolute fiasco. Like, look, if this doesn't give you an idea, look at this. Payday 2, by the way, $10. This game, all time, over 419,000 reviews at 89% positive. That's a banger game, dude. That's a banger game. Payday 3. %40 positive of 32,000 reviews. How do you miss that bad? How do you miss that bad after having a game be literally all you have to do is take the core of what the game was in the first place, listen to your fan base, listen to your community about what they love about the game over the past 10 years and incorporate it, dude. And they botched it. They screwed it up, dude. Terrible. Steam's dude, Gaming Bible's so baity. Steam's latest free game is Stardew Valley meets Studio Ghibli. Really? We'll see. Super Mario Brothers Wonder is supposed to be very good. Nintendo does Mario very well, don't they? I mean, is anybody surprised? I mean, this is what they do, man. This is their jam. This game's supposed to be a banger. You know what I've heard is that it's like modern Super Mario World from Super Nintendo. It's just like Super Mario World, just modern and super whacked out. Yeah, Soup. Yep. Yeah. We've been talking about that for a long time. Yeah. If that's what they call it. If they call it Switch 2. So I mean, there's always the concern with Nintendo and their new hardware, with what they do with the old hardware and the old eShop and all that stuff. Nintendo's terrible. They always have been. They're gross, man. Take away everybody's access to historical content and then go, don't you dare play it anywhere else, even though we took away your access to it. Nintendo's bad, dude. They suck like that. But the thing for me is like we needed a new Nintendo console a few years ago. The Switch is a great console, but it's severely underpowered. The hardware is super constraining for a lot of what modern developers, are trying to get done with their games. It's incredible, to be honest. The feats of what like Nintendo's been able to get done with something like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is actually really, really. It's kind of mind blowing that they were able to get that done with that hardware. But there's a reason why people emulate those games on PC all the time, because a game like that plays much better on modern hardware, and the Switch is old. And so, I don't know. The thing that also sucks about Nintendo is that they do this crap all the time. Like, I mean, the same thing like you're talking about, like Tears of the Kingdom. People just bought Tears of the Kingdom. Do you think that they're going to get a free copy, a free upgrade copy from this version of Switch to the new hardware that's coming out? Because you know that they're going to release that game again for the new hardware, right? But just because you owned it on the previous hardware, you think you're going to get a copy of it for the new hardware? Probably not. Nintendo's always been terrible about that, making people double dip. Same thing like Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8, that game has been out for almost a decade now. Mario Kart 8 was a game that released on the Wii U. And it released on the Wii U. They had a bunch of people buy it on the Wii U. And then they released it again by porting it to the Switch when the Switch came out. And then they made everybody buy it again. That's what Nintendo does. They're gross, dude. They're a gross company. They don't take care of their consumer. It's just about trying to wring as much money out of people as they can. Feels bad. Super Mario Wonder is supposed to be pretty good, though. Bro, this is a sad state of affairs here. PS Plus, watch PS Plus bring the failed Saints Row reboot back. What? Yo, by the way, Volition just got shut down. The company that made this game was a 30-year-old studio owned by Embracer, and Embracer just gave them the axe, dude. They started off as a studio called Parallax, I think. They made games like Descent way back in the day, Red Faction, stuff like that. And in more modern times, they made obviously Saints Row series, and just like last month, Embracer shut them down, totally axed them. That studio is no more. Embracer was like, "See ya, but we'll keep all your IPs, okay?" Because that's what Embracer does. Um, here's the thing. I don't think anybody should be surprised by this. We'll talk about this too. Watch PS Plus bring a dead game back to life. Talk about Saints Row reboot. We live in a world now where I advise people all the time about games that they shouldn't be paying full price for, that you should, if you're interested in playing them, you should be playing them on a subscription service. Subscription services are very, very good for consumers, especially on that front, as far as I'm concerned. There are a lot of games out there that don't deserve to be paid full price for. But if you're really interested in playing them, the best thing you can do is just give them a shot on a subscription service. That's probably what a lot of this was. We'll talk about it. Yeah, Alan Wake 2 is killing it right now, by the way. And I am really excited to be playing that next. We've got some stuff up on that. All right, let's go ahead and dive in here. I'll turn off the music. There it was already off. God, why is this site jacked up right now? I'm going to have to just use the app probably moving forward. So wonky. All right. I didn't realize the music had already stopped on its own, but hopefully it'll be good moving forward. All right. So watch PS Plus bring a dead game back. We'll just start off with this since I was already talking about it. New data shows that the not very popular Saints Row reboot was one of the most played games last month. What up, broski? What's going on, dude? Happy Saturday, man. What's up? How's your weekend going? Want to see a magic trick? All you need is an open world video game that flopped at launch and a popular subscription service with millions of gamers. Presto, you can bring a dead game like Saints Row back to life and make it one of the most played games on PlayStation. Personally, the author enjoyed Saints Row reboot. However, I understand that I'm in the minority of players who felt that way, and most folks, including critics and longtime fans, found the 2022 open world crime sim to be an empty shell devoid of the personality and charm found in the previous much beloved entries. The game, which launched with numerous bugs and issues, reportedly missed internal sales goals. Volition, the studio behind the series, like I just said, was shut down earlier this year. It was actually just like a month ago. Following the game's release and some bad financial news from its parent company, Embracer. Evil. And yet, according to new data, Saints Row was the fourth most played game on PlayStation in September thanks to a PS Plus giveaway. Yeah, as pointed out, the reason for the huge leap in popularity is simple. It was included in September's PS Plus free monthly games lineup. Should be noted the other two games that were included in the PS Plus lineup last month, Generation Zero and Black Desert, are nowhere to be seen in Circana's top 10 list. It seems to indicate there are a lot of people that were curious about Saints Row, but bad reviews likely kept them away. When the game was made free to play, a whole bunch of players, it's not free, you're paying for a subscription service. So let's not forget that. A whole bunch of players leapt at the chance to download and check out this latest entry in the popular series. How many of them finished the game or put any real time into it is unknown, but at the very least, it seems that putting the game on PS Plus helped bring it back from the dead and potentially led to some DLC sales. By the way, there was a lot of disdain from the PlayStation community for the PS Plus releases that month because Saints Row was like the headliner. Saints Row reboot was the headliner. Everybody's like, really? And then they got Generation Zero and Black Desert as well. And people were like, this is crap, dude. What are we paying for? You know? Now, so this is an example of how these subscription services can be used by publishers to revitalize older or less successful games with an audience of subscribers hungry for big AAA games, even the less than great ones. Yeah, so I think that even a better sentiment for people that I've tried to express quite often, and what I was just talking about a second ago, was a game like this that is reviewing pretty poorly on release and definitely doesn't seem like is going to be worth people paying full price for. My advice quite often anymore is if it seems like something you're interested in, just wait. Normally they hit a subscription service. If they're not hitting a subscription service day one, then eventually they do hit. EA games usually hit EA Play about 6 months later. EA Play is something you get with Game Pass Ultimate. Game Pass gives you day one Xbox releases. PlayStation, you get random games all the time. So there's just, I think that it's a better deal for people if games come out that, are not looking like they're probably worth that full AAA price tag or whatever. Have patience. It's probably not. If you've got a large data set review wise, and obviously everybody's own experience for what they enjoy in games and what you're going to get experience wise out of a game is going to vary from person to person, but it's hard to deny that you're going to get a pretty close experience if you've got a lot of baseline data showing the same kind of experience from people. You know, if a game is reviewing from a lot of people the same way and it's not reviewing very well, it's probably not very good. You know, and it's probably not worth the AAA price tag. So I keep advising people, just be patient. Wait until you know, if you're really interested, play it on a subscription service. Wait till it hits a subscription service. You only have to buy a month, and you're only paying, you know, a fraction of what you would have paid for the game, full price. You know, so I think it's a better play nowadays. I think that's one of the ways in which subscription services really shine. It's not like you have to keep the subscription service going month after month. You know, you can just buy a month of it once it hits. You know, and give it a shot, see how it feels, and then you know probably it'll be a mediocre experience, and you won't feel too jaded by the fact that you know you didn't spend a lot of money on the title in the first place. Small hangover site. Boo. Bro, I slept like crap last night. So, I don't know. I'm basically right there with you, dude. Not quite, but kind of. You know what I mean? That sucks, dude. I'm sorry. Uh, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. That's one of those games. Yeah, yeah. That's a good purchase right there, I think. I've talked about Guardians of the Galaxy as well as another Marvel game in, what is it, Midnight Suns. Both of those games were games that actually reviewed pretty well. They were games that a lot of people apparently thought were pretty good games, but they didn't retail well. They didn't sell very well. And so um, they've been hitting a lot of sales and stuff for really cheap. And I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy hit $18. I've seen Midnight Suns get real cheap too. And yeah, I think that people should give those games a chance, man. They didn't sell very well, but they reviewed pretty solid. Like I think both of those games actually were considered to be kind of flops profit wise from their respective developers and publishers. You know, um, yeah, Soup. I'm the same way. I like to own it without a timed membership. I understand that sentiment, but it has to be a good game. I am the same way, which is why this is why we do the news. This is why we look at reviews all the time. And this is why I advise people on this front too, right? So here's the thing for me, and this is why I try to educate people on this front as well. If you're familiar with a developer slash publisher and you're confident in the content that they're bringing to the table for you, if they've shown you historically that they create good products, they perform well, they've got good content, by all means, pre-purchase if you want, buy day one if you want. I respect that. You know, there are a number of developers and publishers out there that I feel that way about, and I think that's people should be supporting those developers. But there are a ton of them out there that have shown us historically that they suck, right? That they either promise an amount of content that they don't deliver on, or they hype up a game and then release it and it's a broken piece of trash and they baited a bunch of people into buying it. And that's where I have an issue with people buying into pre-ordering games, buying games day one. And I think that historically, if a company's shown you they're willing to do that to you, you don't do that for them anymore. You don't pre-order, you don't buy day one. You wait and see what a review says. And a lot of times this is why, right? Because at least half the time anymore on the AAA front, when a game releases, it's kind of balls in one way or another. Either it performs like trash, or the content's not good, or whatever, and it's not worth that AAA price tag, right? So I think that's where us as like gaming enthusiasts and consumers, we have to be a bit more, I don't know, careful in the way we approach the products in the market, because if you just continue to buy into the crap they do to us, then you're just feeding the beast, right? Feeding the problem. And I think that this is an appropriate thing though. And we see a lot of games come out that aren't necessarily great. They could be a mediocre experience, and it could be part of a like series or an IP that people have liked for a long time, but it does seem like it might not be a great experience. And that's where I just try to be like, look, I don't think this company deserves your full, the full purchase price for this from you. I don't think that they did you any favors by botching this product. And so I think the best thing you can do is probably just wait and play it as a subscription based. And if you end up totally loving it or whatever, quite often the way like Xbox does it, right? If a game's on Xbox Game Pass and you're playing the game and you end up really, really liking it enough to where you want to buy it, they give you like a 20% discount on it. A lot of times these subscription services do that for you. So if you're playing a game and you're a subscriber and you like it enough that you want to buy it, and you buy it before it goes off the subscription service, then you get a big like fifth discount on it or whatever. So there's always that potential. Yeah. Into another one, dude. Flipping Starbreeze. I'm so mad that they screwed up Payday 3 so bad. Um, so Starbreeze apologizes for lack of updates on Payday 3's delayed first patch. Dude, we've already hit on this like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. They still don't have the patch out. The patch is currently going through a testing and certification process. Payday 3 developer Starbreeze has apologized for the ongoing wait for the Heist game's first patch. By the way, this game released on September 21st. It has been out 5 weeks. It does not have a day one patch. It does not have its first patch. It might have had a day one patch, but it does not have its first like patch out to fix issues that have been found since the game released. Full released. That's terrible, man. 5 weeks. While major server issues that marred the co-op title's launch have been addressed, fans have been left frustrated by a lack of updates about Payday 3's first patch. Originally scheduled to arrive in early October, it promises to introduce over 200 quality of life improvements for all platforms. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they heisted everybody that bought into the game. What up, Pinky? Despite our silence, we want to assure you all the team is still working on our main priority, which is stealing all your money. Which is to get the patch we promised out to you and to make sure our patching process allows us to continue publishing them at a steady cadence in the future, Starbreeze said this week. We know it sucks to keep hearing the same thing, it continued before confirming that the update is currently going through a testing and certification process. Studio said the patch was delayed after it found critical errors with its update pipeline following the game's release, which needed to be urgently addressed to avoid the possibility of player progression being wiped. We see a lot of your feedback about the progression system. It added, our designers are looking at how the system can be adapted to balance both the challenge system as well as offering infamy points for each heist. We'll come back with more information on what this looks like soon. Starbreeze said it expects to be in a position to start adding free content to the game before the end of the year. We see your frustration and anger. We can assure you this is not a situation we want to be in. The team is working hard on a game that will be supported for years to come and make Payday 3 the new Criminal Dawn. Yo, just go back. Just axe this, dude, and just keep working on Payday 2. How about that? Studio provided an overview of Payday 3's DLC roadmap prior to the game's release, yeah. And nobody gives a crap right now because you can't even release the base game. Well. Playing Core Keeper, dude, nice. You really enjoying it, man? You must be. Feels bad, dude. Yeah, basically, Florida. Yo, what up, Florida? How you doing? Happy Saturday, friendo. Yeah, bunch of get wrecked, dude. I'm so pissed. I loved Payday 2. Payday 2 was so good, and Starbreeze just absolutely botched it, dude. I've actually got an article that we just covered the other day where from the news segment that I put on YouTube here. Check it out. How did Starbreeze screw up Payday 3 so bad? If you guys want to check it out. So gross, man. Steam's latest free game is Stardew Valley meets Studio Ghibli. I don't know, man. That would be an absolute banger right there. I don't know, dude. This is such a good movie. Ever since I laid eyes on the captivating magic of Spirited Away, I've wanted to run my very own bathhouse for the spirits. Dude, I want to watch that. I want to watch that. That's a good movie for Halloween. I don't think I ever watched that around Halloween time. That's a great movie for like Halloween. It's a big dream, one I never thought would come true, but thanks to one of Steam's free demos, I'm able to turn my dreams into a reality, albeit digitally. Spiritia is soon to be released RPG and life simulator. Beautifully rendered in pixel art, it immediately invokes memories of Stardew Valley or Octopath Traveler 2. Dude, that's some good. Those are some games to compare to right there. For cozy game fans like myself, vastly increases its appeal. Yet not wanting to simply rehash a generic story, Spirity attempts to refresh the genre by including cutesy spirits in need of help. Yo, let's go. I love the old pixel art, dude. Yo, you know what this looks like to me? Why can't I think of the name of that game right now?
Hi there everyone, and welcome to our little spirit teaser. We wanted to share some big news with you, and what better way to do it than through our very own Spirity showcase. We are super pleased to announce that Spirity will be launching on Steam, Xbox, Game Pass and Nintendo Switch on November 13th. The whole Spirit team has been hard at work these last few months to get the game into your hands.
Earthbound.
And we're so excited
That's what I was
to
thinking
finally
of.
give you the chance to get
It looks
cozy
like Earthbound
with
to me.
Spirity. We know, it's shocking. A British publisher publishing
Like how
a
you
game
describe
about
these
tea.
companies.
Ooh,
friends with
Don't
a few
forget,
of them.
if you haven't already, you can wishlist the game on Steam right now, so you're all set for November.
Look, there are
13th.
good. There are great
Here's
ones,
what we've
dude.
got
There
coming up.
are really good
Quests,
ones out there,
spirits,
man.
the
And
bathhouse,
then there are some that I just.
hobbies. Should we get started?
I'm sorry,
Since
but
moving to
like.
a new home in Spirity, you will have noticed a bunch of bizarre goings on that the locals can't quite explain.
Yeah.
In fact, the townsfolk are being pestered and plagued
Ubi
by
and
the local
Starbreeze,
spirits that they seem to have forgotten.
God, we
And
talked
it's up
about
to you
Ubi
to solve their
yesterday too.
problems and bring harmony back to this cozy mountain town. When in trouble, the townsfolk will send you on quests to help settle their spirit woes. And just as each resident and spirit are unique, so too are each of the quests. From pulling a chicken
this
out of
game,
a bell
dude,
to
has a very,
investigating
very
nighttime
homebound
spookiness
art
at the
style to
school.
me.
There's always some mayhem
I mean,
afoot.
obviously, you know,
Some of the
pixel
spirits
stuff.
won't make it easy for you, and a lot of these quests will need thorough investigation. So make sure you're keeping your eyes peeled when
they
hunting
were
for
getting
clues.
criticized for that
Some
before the
quests
game
will
even
only
released.
pop up
But that's
in
not
certain
all they
seasons
did.
too, so
I mean, that was a
remember
big
to
reason
check
for a
the
lot of their
notice board from time to
criticism,
time
but
to see what's new.
that wasn't all of it.
Each of the
They
townsfolk
screwed
has
up a
their
lot
own
of
tale
what
to tell through
you
these
know
quests.
made Payday 2
And as you
very
spend
good.
time with them
A
and
lot
get
of
to
the
know their
in-game
stories,
mechanics and stuff
we know
like
you'll
that.
grow to love them
I think
all. Until then, though,
I'll wait
you'll
till this
always have
finishes.
Radish
I'll
the
touch
cat.
on that.
Yeah, we love you too, Radish. Alongside the lovely townsfolk, you'll be meeting a huge cast of mischievous spirits too. These spirits are running rampant around town
Baba
causing
Yaga?
all sorts of trouble, and it's up to you to find them and help them all remember who they are. There are plenty of them to find. Can you help save them all? Each spirit has its own playful personality, and they come in different shapes, sizes, and even seasons. As you help and spend
Yeah, I
time with
love
your
how
spirit,
old school
we
this
hope you'll
game
grow to love all of
looks.
their little details, from how they look to how they bathe in the bathhouse. Each little detail will tell you a bit more about who they are and the relationships that they have with the townsfolk, both past and present. You might even find yourself relating to some of them too, because who doesn't enjoy trespassing and having a scrub in a stranger's bathtub, right? You'll be able to find books relating to each spirit hidden around town too. They'll give you some tasty lore about each spirit if you're keen to find out more, so make sure you've always got a trusty shovel in your backpack. Although you can find most spirits through quest, there are some that can be found by other means, including some spirit royalty. But we'll keep them a secret for now. Now you've met our ghostly friends, it's time to showcase the beating heart of the game, which is of course the bathhouse. Once you've thrown open those big wooden doors, spirits you found will start showing up ready for a nice, relaxing soak. As the bathhouse caretaker, you'll need to work hard to keep the baths warm, keep the place clean, and of course keep your new friends happy. This is where you'll earn moolags, which can be used to buy all sorts of things in town, and keep the resident coin cat contented. So, make sure you're keeping your bathers merry. Happy customers equals more moolags. You'll find the bathhouse in quite an overgrown state, so most of it will be inaccessible to begin with. However, through upgrades, you'll be able to expand the bathhouse, which means unlocking more baths for your spirits,
This is an interesting
a kitchen
game,
area
man.
for
This is
cooking,
wild.
outdoor baths, and more. You'll need some moolag saved for these upgrades, so make sure to be running plenty of bathhouse shifts. No crunch though, we're a games company after all. Your spirits will take up different amounts of room in each bath, so you'll need to stay on the ball and make sure you have ones big enough to accommodate them.
Alright, I guess I should have had closed captioning
Spirits won't
on.
be your only friends in here though, and you're going to need a fair bit of help. So let's check back in on our new pals in town. Or rather, our new pals to be. Moving to a new town can be lonely, but never fear, there are plenty of folks around town who are excited to meet you. As we mentioned before, everyone has a story to tell which is unique to them, and you can start unravelling those tales through friendships. There are all sorts of ways to increase your friendships with people, starting with something as simple as making a conversation.
Jedi Survivor playable? Not the last time I looked.
Just give it a try.
It's one of those games for PC that's like, I don't know about console. Console on release was really bad, so was PC. All the way across the board it was really bad. I don't know about console
anymore. Is a mechanic that we added recently.
PC, it's one of those things where it's still just very unoptimized. Some people have been able to play it, some people haven't. It's just it's a mixed bag, I think. On console, it's good.
Vault. Dogs gave you something special in return. Everyone has their own schedule, so you'll find them all doing different things around town each day, whether that's working at their job or just hanging out with their besties. They also have hobbies they enjoy, especially with a buddy.
I hate seeing developers release games on any platform that's not like optimized.
So if you're the kind of person who likes to sit at home and do nothing, then now might be the time to pick up a hobby, even if it is virtual. Hobbies are a perfect way to increase your friendships. Everyone has things that they enjoy doing.
My game of the year right now is Dave the Diver.
Once you've got their schedule sussed, you'll be able to drag them with you to go bug catching, even in the middle of the night. You'll find all sorts of activities around town that you can do in your free time.
Apparently Alan Wake 2 is an absolute banger, which is what we're going to be playing
karaoke,
possibly today, probably tomorrow though.
Now is the perfect time to take that terrible singing voice to
apparently Alan Wake 2 is very, very good, dude. And we got Baldur's Gate 3 coming up. Baldur's Gate 3 will probably end up being my game of the year.
Found across the town. You might even discover that some of your new friends have ideas on where to dig. Phew,
I'm just expecting it to be
I feel like I've just come back from a 12-hour bathhouse shift. Thank you so much for joining us as we've spirited our way through the magical world of Spirity. We're so excited to get you all playing and can't wait to see how your spirit adventures unfold.
This game is wild, dude.
There's so much more to discover that we haven't had the chance to show off in this video. So, make sure to join us.
I bet this is a time sync, man.
Oh, sorry. Did we mention we're launching on November?
They have any clothes on, dude? It was all blacked out. That's hilarious.
It's coming to Steam, Xbox, Game Pass, and Nintendo Switch. And you can still wish this on Steam too. Everything you'll need is down in the description below. You can also join our Discord for updates and chat with our very cozy community. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in November.
Yeah, that's pretty neat, man. Here, I'll pull it up on Steam. And I'll link it for you guys if you want to take a look at it. I'll get back to that conversation with you, Soup, just a second. Oh, there are two T's in there. There we go. There is a demo for this, by the way. So I don't know if you're interested. This looks like a cool little. By the way, also I mean, I don't know how many people wouldn't be familiar with Studio Ghibli movies, but good lord, if you're not, man, do yourself a favor and get cultured. Studio Ghibli movies are so flipping good, man. And Spirited Away is a fantastic one as well. So if you're not familiar with what they were talking about with Spirited Away, having a lot of influence on this game, it really does. So great movie. Highly recommend taking a look at it. Um, so it's giving Studio Ghibli vibes in a big way, further adding another big green tick against the game before it's even released. Furthermore, it offers comfort, a key component of any cozy game worth its salt. Um, yeah. That's about it. Cool. Let me get back to that soup real quick. So, I don't know, man. The only thing I can really figure with a lot of these AAA companies is they just become so polluted with business minded people that that's what they become overrun with. It's just numbers, right? They lose that kind of uniqueness, that special thing they had internally of what you know made them create these amazing pieces of gaming content for us in the first place. A lot of time, I think that's what happens with AAA developers. They, and not all of them, right? There's some that have maintained for the most part. Bethesda's maintained pretty well. They've had some bumps, right? Fallout 76, stuff like that. I think Capcom has remained pretty good, but they've done some stuff lately that's been pretty gross. Exoprimal was a pretty gross cash grab. Their CEO has recently stated some stuff about wanting to raise prices on us again, which is disgusting, especially after Exoprimal. Um, Tango is amazing. Larian doing great stuff. There are good AAA developers. There are a lot of them that we watch over time, right? And they start off doing these amazing things, and then all of a sudden they just turn into these like gross, greedy, scummy corporations like all the rest of them. There are those diamonds out there, like I said. They're the diamonds in the rough, but it seems like the AAA front, man, is quite often just uh, polluted with a lot of the companies that start off as something pretty good, pretty decent, and they just get overrun with the greed. They lose sight of what gaming's supposed to be about, what has gotten them where they are, which is making good quality content, taking care of your consumer and your fan base and everything, and making sure that you know if you do that, if you make great content, that's what got them there in the first place, right? Making great content, making quality products, taking care of your consumer, taking care of your employees. So like it's all encompassing something that works very well to create a great company, and it's sustainable. You lose that, things start going awry. So I don't know, man. It's tough to watch. I've seen some like my favorite developer as a kid. Everybody's heard me talk about this, but it was Blizzard. I loved Blizzard. I loved Blizzard so much, dude. Blizzard and Square, Blizzard and Square, and I won't even play Blizzard games anymore. As much as it hurts, they just and I'm hopeful now that Microsoft has bought them that they'll turn into something decent enough again for me to feel comfortable playing their titles once again. But man, it's been a terrible thing for me to have to watch. Um, Disney Dreamlight Valley is no longer going free to play when it leaves early access. The game's first paid expansion pass has also announced. Good old Disney. Well, There's also been rumors of a Pro coming out too, Soup. So I don't know. I mean, if I was you, what I would do is just buy a PC or build a PC. You got a PC already? Okay, word. All right, well then you're good. I don't know. Um, oh no, if you've got a 3080, you're fine. I'm rocking a 3070 right now. Jesus. Yeah. Nobody that has any. I mean, I would even say that most people, because even the 2000 series cards are bangers, dude. I mean, that's not all that makes up your PC or anything, you know. But for gaming, of course, you know your GPU makes a big difference. But if you're rocking a 3000 series card, I don't even care if it's a 3060, you're doing just fine. Yeah, yeah. Why do games sometimes slow down on it? I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of I mean, we would need to know like all your stats. Like basically, throw us a list, and it's probably a better thing like what I have right there. So if anybody is ever interested in what I'm rocking right now, I mean, this is my streaming machine. I run one machine. I've got a one machine set up for streaming and gaming. I stream and game on this machine at the same time. And this is what I rock right now. I built this at the beginning of 2021. I'll probably build another one in the next year or so or something like that. Moving forward. But that's what I have. So it depends, Soup. I mean, it could be an issue of the game itself. It could be an issue of some other piece of hardware, you know? So I don't know. No idea. Yeah, I mean, maybe you're having some heat issues. Do you monitor your heat and stuff for the PC? Who knows, man? I don't know. It's it's one of those things where it's probably something that you could try. We have a lot of pretty good tech people in the community. If you wanted to start a conversation in the Discord channel in the main in the tavern, then I'm sure we'd be able to help you try to figure it out. I mean, how many games is it happening on? You think it's storage? Your SSD stutters? Yeah, that's what I was saying, Vault. It could be software, but it just depends on how many games it's happening on. Just on Immortals Vavium? Oh, it's probably just. Look, I've even got certain and it's probably just software. Probably just software. Yeah. If it's only happening on like one piece, I've had two games now. I've had two games now that will just bonk out my PC. You've got to remember that like PC, you know, PC's weird because the configurations that people run is so vast, right? It's there's always the potential for a lot of other people to run software just fine, and for some reason for it to just not like your rig. I've Apex Legends hates my PC, and we just played another game in Scaretober called In Sound Bind, and it hates my PC too. I don't know why. But both of those games will absolutely shut so much crap on my PC down. They crash. Those games crash all the time on my PC. With Apex Legends, I went through extensive troubleshooting, and I'm an IT guy by trade, so I know what I'm doing. I took measures of even re-imaging my entire PC and reinstalling all drivers from scratch, and still had the same. It was something with their software. It didn't like my hardware, and sometimes that's just the case. Sometimes you just have to chalk it up to it just doesn't dig your rig, man. I took a lot of time to try and figure out the Apex thing, man, and I couldn't figure it out. I did all kinds of like, you know, going through a bunch of different like Reddit pages and blogs and stuff. There are a lot of people that had weird Apex Legends issues, kind of similar to mine too, but nothing. Couldn't figure it out, man. And finally, it was just not worth my time anymore. I was like, all right, well, I'm done playing Apex. So I don't know. Yeah, yeah. There are a lot of people that have Apex issues on PC for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. I found that out whenever I started looking online to try to figure my own issue out. Man, there were a ton of people for PC that were like having very similar issues to me. But dude, it would wreck my PC. It would crash. The software would crash, and dude, it would crash so much other crap too. It was like, why is this happening? But that's the same thing InSound Mind would do. That's why we weren't able to finish that game. I had like 4 crashes in 3 days, and every time it crashed, it would crash so much other software and stuff that I'd have to restart the PC. Really weird. No other games have ever done that. So sometimes it's just software soup. You just gotta chalk it up to that. If you're not having any other issues with any other games, then that's basically your telltale sign there that it's not an issue with your PC or your hardware or anything. It's an issue with the software. That one specific piece of software. I mean, that's about a 99% thing there. If you've played a lot of other games and none of the other ones have had issues, yeah, yeah. Oh, now you don't know how to swap the 2 terabyte without risking breaking your PC. Wait, um, well, so here's what you should probably think about doing. So you have one drive, right? You have one storage drive. And this is my recommendation for most people. Whenever I build PCs, I always put my operating system on its own storage drive, and I don't put anything else on there. I put my operating system on a drive, which is about a half terabyte drive, and then I'll utilize other drives, other storage on my PC for like I've got a dedicated solid state drive that's just for like programs and video games and stuff. And then I've got another one that's for like, backup and media and stuff like that. So that's my recommendation for people. That's what I recommend people do. I know it's not always in the cards budget wise and stuff like that, but that's my recommendation for people. Yeah. Best case scenario. So yeah, thanks Vault. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I think what you get, that's something I think Soup, again, a lot of these issues, the best thing you can do, I don't want to take up too much more of the news segment talking about this kind of stuff. We have a lot of people that are good with tech, myself included, and if you're having issues or you need some guidance or whatever, Discord's where you should be at for us. So go into the main channel, the tavern, of the Discord, and myself and other people can help guide you through that. Yeah, yeah. There are a lot of people around here that are good with tech, and we'll help you figure it out. There are a lot of guides online about how to, do that kind of storage stuff. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's a bit more complex, just depending on your setup, what you've got on those drives, things like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if you get into the Discord, we can definitely help you figure it out. Okay. Disney Dreamlight Valley is no longer going free to play when it leaves early access. The game's first paid expansion pass has also been announced. Gameloft has announced that Disney Dreamlight Valley will leave early access on December 5th, but that it will no longer be going free to play when it does. So what about all those people that have been already playing it for free to play? As we look ahead to the official launch with the learnings we've gained from early access, we've made the decision to remain a paid game for the foreseeable future. Yeah, okay, so this is the same exact thing. This is the same exact thing that they're doing with so Dreamlight Valley and the Speedstorm are the same exact thing. Disney does this with their games now. What they do is they go, oh yeah, it's a free-to-play game, but they leave it in early access for years. They leave it in early access for years. They try to label it as a free-to-play game, even though it's not. You have to pay just as much as you would for any other game to get in there and play it as a like a founder Yeah, it's like, oh, if you want to play in early access, then you need to buy a founder's pack. Yeah, I've called Disney out for this crap for a long time now, and so it's like they're not really free to play. They just tell you that the game's going to be free to play when it full releases, but they don't even really tell you when the game's going to full release. So they go, it's early access, and if you want to play early access, we gotta buy a founder's pack. So really, you're just paying to play the game like you would any other game in the gaming industry. But they found a way to try and call it free to play. It's scummy, dude. Quote, this choice ensures that Disney Dreamlight Valley will be able to continue delivering on a premium game experience for all players, Gameloft said today. It's important to us that we maintain our promise to keep delivering free content, updates that add new characters, realms, clothing, furniture, and more surprises to your valley. Purchases requiring moonstones will remain optional, fair, and match the level of quality players have come to expect. Players will still be able to collect free moonstones via Dream Snaps and chests, or optionally choose to purchase them. When it leaves early access, several editions of Dreamlight Valley will be available, which are detailed in the image below. They will range in price from $40 US to the core for the core game to $70 US for the Gold Edition, which will include the game's first newly announced expansion pass titled A Rift in Time. The expansion pass will also be available separately for $30 more US. There's a live stream happening on November 1st at 1 p.m. Eastern. That would be noon our time. I won't be watching that. Sorry. During the live stream, they're going to show off the expansion pass and all that stuff. Sorry, Disney's gross, dude. Look, let me, yeah. Look, is this? No. I think it's on Epic now, though. I think Palia's on Epic. Here, free game. If you think Disney Dreamlight Valley looks okay or whatever, try out Palia. Okay, try this out. It's a very chill, very cool, like just like sim kind of game. You know what I mean? It's like you like your character, you make your character, you go. It's a multiplayer, massive multiplayer kind of environment where you're just like running around. You're like gathering materials, resource gathering, and you're like building your own like kind of little homestead and everything. And you got a village here that you interact with a lot of NPCs, and you've got little quests you go on and stuff like that. So it's free to play. Check that out. I've played a little bit of it with my daughter. My daughter loved it. Our friend here in the community, True, has been playing it and had been loving it. So give it a shot. Rather than pay for Disney Dreamlight Valley bullcrap, how about try out a developer that is making a pretty cool game here for free? The only thing that they monetize is like basically just like cosmetics and stuff. That's it. There's no like pay to win in this or anything like that. And it's pretty solid. It's pretty cool. It's very chill, very cozy, very neat. Check that out if you want. That's what I would recommend. Disney can get wrecked. Don't forget about your free games on Epic, by the way. Tandem, A Tale of Shadows, and Evil Within 2 are free right now until the 2nd of November, and then it'll be Fist and Turnip Boy. Okay? Go get your free games. First look, footage released of horror video game set on 1970s North Sea oil rig. We might have already seen this, unless this is new footage. Still Wakes the Deep, which is set on a collapsing oil rig in Scotland's North Sea, will be launched early next year. Gameplay scenes from the long-awaited video game set on a collapsing oil rig in Scotland's North Sea have been released. Still Wakes the Deep, the latest game from the Brighton-based developer The Chinese Room, is based on the fictional disaster of the Birra D oil rig located off the coast of Scotland. Set in December 1975, the player will need to navigate the collapsing rig to save their crew from an otherworldly horror on the edge of all logic and reality. The gamer will control an offshore oil rig worker fighting for their life through a vicious storm, perilous surroundings and the dark, freezing North Sea waters. Did I hear wish list? Did I hear Q? Yo, by the way, Pinky, you know what's weird? Dude, I went and looked at my settings on Steam. My settings were set to not allow any of that kind of content to show up. From what happened the other day, you know what I mean? So I don't know how that came through. Yeah, I know, man. Because I was pretty sure I already had all that stuff. Because nothing's ever come through like that before. And I was like, dude, I know I had gone into my settings before. And sure enough, dude, I went and looked again. So I don't know how that came through. Still can't get over my wish list? Oh yeah, we had that conversation, right, Sue? Yeah. Wish list, Pinky's wish list. Pinky, how many games do you have on your Steam wish list, Doug? Soup, you're about to ping out right now. Yeah, this is a new, Yeah, exactly, Pinky. That's what I was thinking too. Yep. Like 750 plus. Yeah. Remember when Soup came in here and Soup was like, I've got like 20 games on my wish list, oh my god. Soup's head was about to explode. Well, that's all you do is scroll. It's like the opposite. There's plenty of room to scroll because that's all you do is scroll. Psych, you got like 3? Wow, dude. I think I've got quite a few. What kind of spoopy game is this? Yeah, this is that's what I was just reading about, yeah. I think it's going to be almost kind of like a Soma type of experience, more of like a psychological horror game, you know. I've got so many that I don't even know if I still want on there, but I just don't go look at my wish list enough. Basically, the times I look at my wish list is when a sale happens. A sale happens on Steam, and I'm like, all right, pull up the wish list, and I sort by discount. I'm like, is that enough of a discount? Do I want that game enough? Stay away. Still Wakes the Deep arriving early next year on Game Pass day 1. The aim is to search for the crew and help them survive while running, climbing, and swimming through the flooded corridors and storm-lashed outer decks. Still Wakes the Deep. This is the name of the game, by the way. A creation of the Chinese Room. Award-winning game development studio with a worldwide reputation for high-quality visuals, audio, and storytelling. The game is going to be available for Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam. All right. Still Wakes the Deep here. This is your link for the game on Steam if you want it. All right, let's see what Epic's up to here. Epic's been making some bad moves, man. Epic's looking really gross as a company with all the things they've been getting up to. If you haven't heard, I mean, they fired like 850 people. All of this amidst like the normal default, like same stupid statement you get out of all of these companies when they do this kind of thing, you know, which is we love our employees and we love our consumers and we wouldn't do this if we didn't have to, but they're not transparent about anything either. It's like, what led you to this? You know, did you do anything to try and avoid these drastic measures of firing 850 people? Are your CEOs taking a pay cut? Anything like that? They don't talk about anything like that. But Epic fired 850 people. They've been so apparently of those 850, it seems like Mediatonic, which is the Fall Guys developer, is basically skeleton crewed now. They are messing up Psyonix's game of Rocket League, one of the most beloved mechanics in that game, which is player-to-player in-game item trading. They're making Psyonix remove that. They are increasing V-Bucks pricing in Fortnite. They sold off Bandcamp that they bought a year and a half ago, and when they sold off Bandcamp, they fired half of those employees before they sold them off. It's pretty bad, man. It looks really, really rough. Epic looks gross right now. But Fortnite's next big OG update will see the Battle Royale return to its Chapter 1 roots. Epic Games has revealed that Fortnite's next big major update will see the perennially popular Battle Royale return to its Chapter 1 roots while retaining its popular sprinting and mantling gameplay mechanics. Earlier today, Epic posted an image of the classic Fortnite Battle Bus to Twitter alongside the words sprint or mantle, your choice, back to Chapter 1. See you soon, 11/2/2023, so November 2nd. Alongside the hashtag Fortnite OG, the post echoes a similar teaser from Epic Vice President and co-founder Mark Ryan, who yesterday revealed that the word theme for the next season of Fortnite was set to be Rewind. Epic's post seemingly confirmed rumors from recent weeks pointing towards a return to the Chapter 1 Fortnite map of old. Influencers have since revealed that they have been sent care packages from Epic that, as reported by GameSpot, featured pins representing seasons from the first chapter of the Battle Royale. Also included in each pack was a vinyl that seemingly sported an etching of the Chapter 1 Season 5 map on the back. The Twitter post revealing Fortnite OG also served to reassure players that the mantling and sprinting mechanics introduced in Chapter 2 and 3 will remain as part of the game, despite rumors to the contrary that left many in the community concerned. Fortnite recently played host to the Alan Wake flashback experience, which sought to recreate the story of Remedy Entertainment's cult 2010 game to prepare gamers unfamiliar with its mystery-heavy plot ahead of this release of Alan Wake 2, which came out yesterday. Like I said, last week, Epic announced it was laying off roughly 850 employees. We've heard 850, give or take a few, in a survival move triggered by what CEO Tim Sweeney, the multi-billionaire, described as recent financial woes. But literally, we have no transparency on any of this. Today also saw the company raise the prices of Fortnite's in-game currency V-Bucks in the US and most other countries. There are like 2 countries where they went down a little bit, I think. I'd at least respect them more, I think. But no. No, I think the thing for me, no, that's not what I expect, you know what I mean? I think what I want though is I want transparency. I'm just sick of all these major giant businesses making bad business decisions and then making their employees, who are the ones that literally got them to where they are, pay the price for it. So you've got like these front office guys or employees, not just guys, but employees that sit there and they go, oh yeah, we're sitting on this big old fat, piece of capital or cash that we've accrued because we've had some good years here, and we'll this sounds like a good way to invest, and it ends up turning out to be an absolute flop or whatever, and then it's all of a sudden they're like just hemorrhaging, right? Apparently. I mean, that's the way it comes off, right? It comes off as like they're just hemorrhaging, like they're capsizing, but you don't hear anything about what they tried to do to try and avoid firing 850 people, you know? Tim Sweeney is a multi-billionaire. Is he, you know, not getting, you know, his pay to try and save some of these employees' jobs at Epic, you know, that have been there and helped, you know, get the company to where they are. That's the thing that drives me crazy, dude. No, I don't expect, you know, I know that was a bit of a like a kind of a meme post there in chat, but it just drives me crazy. This is the constant thing we see out of these companies that do this all the time, you know. You know those CEOs, dude. Their pockets are still going to be lined with gold. They don't give a crap about anybody else. You know, sucks. I just hate it, man. And yeah, I'm always gonna. You know how I am, man. I'm always gonna raise my concerns about these kinds of situations. So, and if the situation is different than what I expect it probably is, then the transparency of it all would alleviate those concerns, right? But they don't do that for us, which is why I can only expect that it's a bunch of bad business decisions and then a bunch of people at the top that don't care to give up their stupid, crazy amounts of money that they're making. Yeah, basically, side. You know what I mean? To try and save the low people on the totem pole's jobs, you know, to deal with it. You know, it sucks. It sucks. And I think that's one of these things that people need to understand about, you know, and try to look at critically about these businesses and the way that they handle their affairs, man. We live in a world where companies look at employees as expendable, you know, and it sucks. I know so many people that have worked, and I'm not just talking about the gaming industry, but obviously the gaming industry treats it the same way. So many industries, I've known people that just get treated like absolute dog crap. They bust their butts day in and day out, man, and just get treated like crap, like expendable pieces of trash for companies. And it's not the way it should be, man. You know, and it seems like that's what this kind of situation is too. And until there's some kind of transparency about it, that's the only thing that I would assume. Here we go. I'd forgotten this game was coming out pretty soon. Become an interstellar firefighter battling cosmic horrors in quantum error. If there's one story you've never had the opportunity to experience in gaming, it's that of the interstellar firefighter going head to head against powerful cosmic entities in a matter of days. That's the tale that you could be living out, provided you have a PlayStation 5 console, that is. Better hurry up, Soup. From Team Kill Media comes Quantum Error, an ambitious first third-person shooter that attempts to innovate and make use of all the technical advantages of the PS5. From full haptic feedback that allows you to feel the intensity of a backdoor draft. Backdoor draft. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. To using the controller's microphone to save lives, Quantum Error promises to be a unique game, and it's kicking off a trilogy, apparently. What is Quantum Error? Quantum Error is only the second game ever released by Team Kill Media, which already has a further 3 projects in development, as well as a planned follow-up, and a follow-up for the follow-up. Following up. For Quantum Error itself, there's a complex story at play that's better outlined in the game's website, but ultimately, Quantum Error will see the protagonist, Captain Jacob Thomas, go from being a top-tier firefighter in San Francisco to transcending our imperfect world by way of interstellar travel, uncovering mysterious enemies from the cosmic abyss he finds himself a part of. Here's a launch trailer. Excuse me, by the way, for that flatulence.
Alright. 911. What's your emergency? Hello. Is anyone there? Hello.
That backdoor draft.
All right, everyone, listen up. Our mission here is different but simple. We are to assist the Manah Fire Department in getting as many civilians out of the complex as possible. We worry about the complex once everyone's out.
Thank you, Jacob. You have made this so much easier. How do you know my name?
Let's see which species is superior, fireman.
Who I am is not important.
Yeah, this is. We saw a little bit of this like earlier in the year.
Time, and there are a lot of people hunting you.
Nice.
The fate of the world resting upon the shoulders of the common man's hero. You cannot stop us. You never could.
That's what I want my necromancer to look like in Baldur's Gate 3, by the way.
I was right about my trust
Like that
in
alien.
you, fireman.
Just a few frames ago, you know.
Our best wasn't good enough.
I don't know what kind of options we have, dude, but get ready.
Keeping something from me.
Dear God.
I'm gonna be like the ugliest, most charismatic necromancer ever.
I'm here to save lives and save my partner. People are what matter to me.
That playthrough is gonna be wild for us, dude. Pinky's just gonna go around sweeping everybody's legs. Sorry. Play 3 days early, even though you have no idea how good this game's gonna be. Don't pre-order this, dude. I just, that's such a weird scam, dude. So weird. Anyways, Quantum Error was built in Unreal Engine 5, takes full advantage of the marvels of that the technology offers. Baldur's Gate 3 is so fun, dude. I cannot wait. It had Pinky's like basically like, bro, you're not taking Wednesday off this week, dude, because we're supposed to be starting it on November 1st, but November 1st is Wednesday, which is our normal day off. Pinky's like, you're not taking Wednesday off, bro. Pinky's been waiting, dude. He's been waiting to play this game with me, man. Promises to do well in the space, even if it's likely not a contender against something like Dead Space or Alan Wake. Quantum Error will be released on October 31st for pre-order customers and then digitally on November 3rd. If you'd rather wait for a physical copy, they're arriving in stores worldwide on November 17th. Withdrawal symptoms since August 10th. I know, dude. I'm so sorry, bro. I really do owe you. Oh, bro, come on! Yo, yeah, Pinky's, that's appropriate, dude. Saltier at me right now, yeah. Yeah, the game does look cool, but, I mean... Hold on. Was it error? Is it only on... Wait, what? It's only on PlayStation? It's only on PlayStation? Mm. Looks like it. Yeah, looks like it. Okay. Team kill, huh? What was the first game they did? Team Kill Media. Does anybody know? Games. Previously released games. Kings of Lorne? What is Kings of Lorne, dude? Nice. Oh, bro. Me and you both got close, dude. Vault. Don't cry, bro. Don't cry. Kings of Lorne. What is this? Oh, yikers. Yeah. Yeah. Buggy as hell. Don't waste your money. No. User reviews are a 5.9, dude. Yo, True, what up? Renamote. Let's go. Yeah. Monka S, yo. What up, True? Yo, I think that this here's the deal. Here's the deal. The fact that Quantum Error is only the second game that this developer will have ever released, Team Kill Media, and the fact that their first game doesn't have great reviews, I would say be weary. Be a little bit hesitant here about what they're going to be bringing to the table. Nice, Florida. Dude, that's a great emote. I love that. Sick. Yo, happy Saturday. Yeah. So I think this is the thing. They've shown they've got a history of doing maybe mediocre to subpar content or products. So expectations should be not very high on this. If it ends up being a banger, cool. That's awesome. We want to see progression from developers, right? Hopefully that first title here was something to give them experience and let them progress off of. But we know that that's not always the case. And they didn't show us a lot, apparently, out of their first game. So maybe if you're interested in this, wait for it to come out and see what reviews are saying about Quantum Error before you dive into it. That would be my advice. It looks like it could be good, but it's hard to tell out of a developer like that and what they've given us before. Love all the heart hands. Yeah, I know. Yo, True. Yo, I was just talking about you a second ago. Only good things about corn dogs, really, and paleo, and paleo. So basically, we came across an article. Talking about Disney Dreamlight Valley and how, I've talked crap about Disney for a long time about how they do these it's a free-to-play game, but it's not really a free-to-play game because they go, it'll be free-to-play whenever it full releases, but it's early access right now. So if you want to play early access, you've got to buy a Founders Pack. So it's really just a paid game, right? You still play it? Yeah, I was going to ask that. I haven't played it in a little bit with my daughter, but I know that you had still been in it. And basically what I was saying was look, if anybody wants to play something cool, chill, it's not going to have the Disney aspect to it or anything, but, check out Palea. It's free. It's chill. It's cozy. It's nice, sim, resource gathering, building game. But if anybody's interested, they might reach out to you. Because I was telling everybody that was True plays. True's been playing it. You know what I mean? So, and you're still enjoying it quite a bit, I'm guessing, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's a chill game. Yeah, cool, nice, yeah. Well, I kind of tabbed you as the go-to, sorry. But I know you got more experience with it than I do, so I didn't figure you would mind. Xbox is delusional if they think Blizzard is the Pixar of gaming. Readers feature. I agree. I'm not probably going to read this whole thing, but dude, who do you guys think the Pixar of gaming is? I already said mine earlier. I think it's pretty easy who the Pixar of gaming is. Yeah. I got it. I think you meant Hod Towered, right, Pinky? Pixar of gaming's Nintendo, dude. That's easy. Nobody's going to be able to take that from them, you know? I don't see anybody else even being close to Nintendo as like the Pixar of gaming, you know? Really. Personally, anyways. But I'm open to like interpretations there too if somebody sees something else that could contrast that. I feel like Nintendo has that on lock, really. So who Microsoft apparently described Blizzard as being the Pixar of gaming? What? I guess it depends on the way you're like looking at it and stuff, but yeah, I wouldn't say that. Let's be fair, man. Blizzard can't even do math. I'm not going to let them live that down, dude. They can't even do math, man. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was trying to get at. That's what I was saying to Florida. It depends on the way they're trying to address this. You know, I was thinking just about the like the visuals and stuff, and the way the you know like what Pixar is. Nintendo reminds me more of what Pixar is. But if you're talking about like you know maybe a different criteria, then I could understand other companies being you know referred to maybe more Pixar like or whatever. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Psych. Yep, I agree with that. Blizzard has always been really good at cinematics. Always. Always, always. The wait, the bottom paragraph? How bottom? How bottom was I? Oh no. Here, let's see. Was it up here? I'm using old-fashioned phrase that used to get thrown around a lot in the 2000s during Pixar's golden era. It was used to describe anything that was seen to be the best and most successful in its industry, especially in terms of creativity and imagination. So that being the Pixar of whatever was a great compliment. Oh, okay. So basically, the best and most successful gaming company in terms of creativity and imagination. No, dude. Blizzard is definitely not it anymore. Yeah. Yo, thanks, Florida. Appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to talk about if you were to take the most successful part out and just talk about creativity and imagination, it's literally the entire indie part of this industry. Right? There are a lot of very, very successful indie companies in the industry. There are. But none of them really have the same kind of standing as something like Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, something like that, right? So I don't know. It's a hard thing to throw down there because it is so different now. Creativity and imagination, a lot of the best things we see in the gaming industry, in my opinion, come out of the indie side of things. Small indie companies too. They're so good at this stuff, man. Oh, the trolls are out today, dude. Yeah, I wouldn't really call I just kind of skimmed this. That's interesting. It's something to keep in mind. I mean, I don't see Blizzard being and I won't deny the fact they do very good with cinematics and stuff. But as far as being like innovative and creative, Blizzard, no, not really for me. But I don't know who. I mean, I think on the hardware front, Nintendo actually is there. On the hardware front, Nintendo's always innovative. You know what I mean? On the hardware front, they're always there. On the services front, Xbox is always there. You know, there are a lot of different areas you could take this whole like who's the Pixar thing. Especially if you want to go with like success combined with innovation and like creativity and stuff. Um Hardware, services, the games themselves, things like that. There's a lot of different areas to kind of take into consideration here. It's something to think about for sure. One of 2022's best horror movies will soon be a video game. Barbarian was released in theaters last year to high praise. 2022 horror movie Barbarian wasn't on my short list of recent films I thought might get a video game adaptation, but it sounds like one is coming from the company behind the Friday the 13th and Evil Dead games. Evil Dead is a lot of fun, actually. I really enjoy Evil Dead. I played it a good amount last October, and when I played like one day of it this October, it was still fun. It has an issue with matchmaking, but it's still a fun game. Diversion Entertainment, who is behind the aforementioned horror adaptations, announced it has entered an agreement with New Regency, the production company behind last year's horror hit. There's currently no word on a publisher or developer, but it sounds like the movie won't be a direct adaptation of the movie. I'm not gonna watch this like official trailer. I'll link this for you guys because it's not about the game. It's just a trailer for the movie and stuff. But we're very excited to quote. We're very excited to work with the team at New Regency to expand on the settings, characters, and creatures of Barbarian," said Tim Hess, executive producer of Diversion Entertainment, in a statement to Bloody Disgusting. The film did a magnificent job of not only scaring audiences with its unexpected and horrifying twists and turns, but also in establishing strong characters thrown into terrifying situations. We look forward to exploring these themes further in the game. Yeah. The film stars Georgina Campbell, Justin Long, Bill Skarsgård, who plays the most recent version of Pennywise in the It movies, if you didn't know. He's a pretty good actor, man. I like him. And focuses on an Airbnb stay gone terribly wrong after the guests discover the home they're staying in is inhabited by a monstrous woman in the basement. Things escalate from there, but even so, I'm curious how the premise gets made into a video game. But given the Friday the 13th and Evil Dead were asymmetrical multiplayer games instead of direct adaptations, likely Barbarian is due for a shakeup in its movie-to-game translation. Well, we'll see. It's probably pretty early in the development of this project, and we'll get more as we move along with it. Okay, so apparently we've got some news here with the Wolverine being the next game Insomniac's going to be focused on, and the fact that it is been announced from Insomniac, the developer, that it is set in the same universe as their Spider-Man games. Here's to hoping they eventually cross paths. Been 2 years since Insomniac's Wolverine was announced, and since then, fans have wondered if both Spider-Man and Logan are in the same universe. Why would they not say Peter and Logan if they're going to call... That was weird. Thanks to Spider-Man 2's senior creative director, it's now been confirmed that they are. The news comes from a Kind of Funny Games interview in which Spider-Man 2's director, Brian Intihar, revealed that all three heroes are in the same universe. They are 1048. I think that I got that right, but yeah. From those unaware, Marvel is no stranger to dabbling in the multiverse. Each universe varies from one another. For example, 616 is home to the main comic book series, while the MCU is on 199,999. In the same interview, Intihar stated that there was a decision to not include Wolverine Easter eggs because the studio wanted the team to focus on Spider-Man. I'm just trying to learn how to make Spider-Man or to try to get Spider-Man off the ground. While there's another Marvel thing I'm trying to get, Intihar said. I think it's for us, it's let's let that team cook, let them cook. Let them make the game they want to make. This aligns with what Intihar has said in the past. They explained the studio is making sure that they have a clear runway to make the best Wolverine possible. It's going to be awesome, so I'm really excited about it. But we wouldn't be like Marvel fans if we didn't talk about things. Currently, not much is known about Marvel other than it'll launch exclusively on the PS5, and that apparently what we've also heard is that this is supposed to be maybe a quite possibly actually a mature title. We've heard from Insomniac that this is quite possibly going to be a mature rated title, as opposed to what we've seen with like Spider-Man stuff, which I would love to see come out of Wolverine's universe, So we'll get more on this, but I'm just glad that they're going full speed ahead now on Wolverine. It's great. Yo, let's see what this is. South Park makes Baldur's Gate 3 joke. Larian quickly corrects it. South Park gag about Baldur's Gate 3 cross saves earns it a talking to from the developer. Oh no, dude. Bro, South Park rips on everything. It's not quite the Leviathan of TV satire it once was, but there must still be some thrill in seeing South Park reference something you've made. No one needed the rude cartoon boys to confirm that Baldur's Gate 3 has been a huge success, but a joke about cross-dimensional Baldur's Gate 3 save files in the latest South Park episode or special does underscore how widely mainstream the D&D RPG has gone. But like a good stern DM who doesn't let the rules go out the window just because the players are joking around, Baldur's Gate 3 developer Larian Studios was quick to log an objection to the gag. Greeting the show with a wonderfully dry hello at South Park, the studio pointed out that the joke misrepresents Baldur's Gate 3's cross-save capabilities. The special called South Park Joining the Panderverse premiered on Paramount Plus today, and based mostly on the trailer, has to do with an alternate South Park universe influenced by the show's take on diverse casting. All you need to know in this context is that it involves a multiverse, which is where Baldur's Gate 3 comes in. In a scene posted on X, alternate reality Cartman, played by Janicia Adams Ginyard, complains that she's already like 50 hours into Baldur's Gate 3 but has to start a new game. Do save games not cross between multiple universes? She asks. Stan responds, save games don't even cross between PCs and PS5s. Why would they cross between multiple universes? As Larian pointed out in his response, however, Baldur's Gate 3 save games can be shared between PCs and PS5s. While, quote, while Baldur's Gate 3 saves can't cross multiversal barriers, we can confirm they do actually transfer between PC and PS5, the studio wrote. Hello at South Park. While Baldur's Gate 3 saves can't cross multiversal barriers, we can confirm they do actually transfer between PC and PS5. It would have been a decent gag otherwise, but so it goes. The larger joke driving the scene is better, but I'll leave it unspoiled. There's no word on whether Larian plans to support cross-universe saves in the future, but we'll ask the next time we're in touch with their director of multiversal communications. If you want to use Baldur's Gate 3's cross-platform saving feature in this universe, you can do so with a Larian account. That's actually hilarious, dude. Right on. I like that Larian like kind of clapped back at him. That's funny. Yo, this is the last thing I have to cover here. I did a little bit of research last night, not extensive, but some quick stuff on Alan Wake 2, and I wanted to talk about it this morning because over the past couple of days, we've seen some different, well, past few days actually, we've seen some different stuff, from some concerning things to some brighter outlook to some actually really good stuff now, and I just wanted to kind of flesh this out a little bit since we're playing Alan Wake 2 next. And take a look at some reviews for it and everything too. But this is the last thing I'm going to kind of cover for video gaming news today, and then we're going to move on and play day 4 of Alan Wake 1 Remastered. This will probably be the finale today, I'm guessing. And then if we have time, we might start Alan Wake 2 today. If not, it'll be starting Alan Wake 2 tomorrow, okay? But here's the thing. If you haven't seen yet, Alan Wake 2 is getting very good ratings. Right now, total Metascore is an 89, but if you look, PC has a 92, and PS5 has an 89. Yo, Cappy, what's up, friendo? Happy Saturday. So, the game is looking very, very good right now, and that's great. Remedy apparently is doing a bang-up job with this game. It's polished, and the gameplay content is apparently very, very good. I'll link this if you guys want to take a look at any of these reviews. But shout out to our buddy Cappy. Actually, they just showed up. Cappy had made us aware a few days ago that the hardware requirements for Alan Wake were fairly high. And when we looked into it, it absolutely was. Hardware requirements for Alan Wake were very, very up there. And it had a lot of the gaming world kind of scared about what to expect performance-wise out of the game. Because the recommended, just GPU side, recommended GPU was, I think, a 4070 or a 4080. And that is something that's not really heard of in modern gaming. And the minimum requirement, I think, was a 2080. So there was a lot of talk about a 2080 was only going to get you like a fully high def with low settings, and a 4080 would be able to get you like 60 frames, maybe 2K resolution, with ray tracing and stuff, you know. And you know, it's I think they actually used their own in-house engine for this, right? Remedy's what's their engine called? Northlight engine. Yeah, it's their own in-house engine called the Northlight engine. And apparently the game looks amazing. We covered this yesterday. There's already a new NVIDIA patch out for the game. If you weren't aware of that and you're planning on playing Alan Wake 2, you should go ahead and install that. But what I've come to the conclusion of here is that from everything that I researched last night, and I'm not going to pull up a bunch of articles because I can just kind of tell you what I found out. From the requirements that I've just told you about, and everything else I've read online, I looked at benchmarking, I looked at Reddit threads, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Florida. I mean, to an extent, that's just the evolution of gaming, right? But I think I want to talk about that a little bit. I think there's a difference between what we're seeing Remedy do with Alan Wake 2 and what other developers need to do. So I think there's a problem here. I think a lot of what happens is, yeah, there's always going to be an evolution as technology increases, right? Obviously, as technology evolves and gaming evolves with technology, there's inevitably going to be, requirement thresholds that kind of get bumped up throughout time, right? I mean, it's inevitable, yeah. and I think we're kind of hitting one of those times where it's starting to get bumped up a little bit. Where I think Remedy got this right is this. All too often nowadays, I think we see, we all experience it, right? Games get released in a very, very poor performing state. Yeah. They feel terrible. And to be fair, most of it is a developer. They're just not optimizing their games appropriately. They're not finishing their games before release. It feels bad. But the way that I think Remedy approached this, because from what I understand, even people playing this game on hardware under the minimum requirements are still able to have a good experience with this game. You might not be hitting 60 frames. You might be getting more of like a steady 30 frames on like a 1000 series graphics card or something like that. But that's under the minimum requirements. And I think that's where Remedy is doing things right, in my opinion, right? You tell people higher than what they need. That way you ensure as a developer that people purchasing your game, right? As long as your game is polished and you know your game plays well, if you push it out with these requirements stating that you at least need this hardware for it to be flawlessly performing, and then people decide that they want to buy it and play it on hardware under that, if they do have issues, that's on them. That's not on you as a developer, right? Because you told them. The hardware requirements you push out might be high, but at least you're letting them know that this is what we're telling you need to have a flawless kind of experience with our game. Yeah? Right. And I know that's an issue, Cappy. I know that's an issue. Just assume it won't work. But that's the risk they're taking. Yeah? That's the risk they're taking. And I'll give you a bit of a caveat to that too. So Remedy's taking a risk and saying that we're going to tell everybody they need higher than what you probably do need, which means that they're maybe potentially not going to make as much money as they would have on this. But they're also covering their own butts, yeah, by ensuring that people not having good enough hardware potentially can't throw them under the bus, right? So they're protecting themselves. The other thing is, we all know how the gaming industry works, right? And anytime a game comes out, there's going to be, especially in the PC side, right? Because everybody's running on a just wide array of configurations, right? Everybody's got a different rig. And our hardware configurations are just varied so greatly. So just like I did last night when I went searching around, there were all kinds of people playing this game on well under what the minimum settings were. You'll be able to find that stuff out, right? And they said, look, man, I'm playing it. It feels really good, you know? And I think that's great. Yeah. They made this game well enough that even under the minimum recommended hardware, people are having a good experience. This is a great contrast to what you see most of the time anymore, which is the opposite side of this is developers pushing out a game and putting out too low of a hardware requirement. And then people try to play the game and are going, dude, I've got a GPU that's 2 generations above that, and the game plays like balls. Right? I would rather see developers do what Remedy's doing than see what most of the other developers are doing and putting too low of a hardware requirement and then having people buy the game and not be able to play it very well. You see where I'm coming from? I think this is the way developers need to be approaching this. If you're making a very, obviously Alan Wake 2 is a very high demanding game, right? And they wanted to make sure people understood that. But they did it. They developed the game well enough that even people under that minimum requirement are having a good experience. And that's fantastic. This is the way developers, in my opinion, need to be looking at what Remedy has done here and start emulating this kind of workflow process and this like mechanic for pushing out their games, you know. Oh, Florida. I flushed it. I played the game for 8 days and I flushed it on PC. It was terrible. I was well above the requirements for that game. It was terrible. It played so poorly. It actually reminded me of Elden Ring. Elden Ring was terrible on PC as well for me. And I trudged through Elden Ring. I played the entire thing. And then, you know what? The Elden Ring and Hogwarts Legacy both were so eerily similar to me. They both were so obviously made for console. Both of those games were so obviously made for console and then ported to PC. And whenever I played Hogwarts Legacy, I only got like 8 days in, and I was like, I can't do this, dude. So, I don't know. I think that Remedy is doing the right thing here. I think this is, and again, you know, I know what you're saying, Cappy. You're like, well, if I'm under the recommended, or if I'm under the minimum required hardware, I'm just not probably going to buy it. Yeah. But if you think about it, that's the risk that Remedy's taking. Really. Because they're going, yeah, we know people aren't going to buy the game probably. Not as many people are going to buy the game. But we'd rather people be aware and understand that this is what they need to make sure they're going to be able to play our game flawlessly. And I respect that, dude. That deserves respect in my book. I think that's great. So we'll read this real quick. Alan Wake 2 shines bright in the gaming world, earning rave reviews. Alan Wake 2 has arrived, taking the gaming world by storm with glowing reviews. The game has earned high praise from esteemed publications with perfect scores and comments like massively confident and full of surprises. In a competent year for game releases, Alan Wake 2 has firmly established itself as a shining star in the gaming constellation. The year 2023 has been a watershed moment for the gaming world, delivering a barrage of exceptional titles that continue to amaze both players and critics just when it seemed that the gaming industry had reached its pinnacle with acclaimed releases like Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Spider-Man 2. A new contender has emerged to steal the spotlight and set new standards. Alan Wake 2. The sequel to the original Alan Wake has finally arrived after a 13-year wait, and it's taking the gaming landscape by storm. Alan Wake 2 has swiftly earned glowing reviews, securing an impressive 92 points on OpenCritic, an 89 for the PS5 version on Metacritic, and an even more remarkable 92 for PC gamers. Esteemed publications such as GameSpot, VGC, GamesRadar, The Gamer, and Dextero have bestowed perfect scores upon the game, hailing it as a groundbreaking masterpiece. VGC, in their flawless 10 out of 10 review, praises Alan Wake 2 as massively confident, often groundbreaking, and full of surprises. The game is lauded for its exceptional narrative and survival horror elements, promising an experience that will captivate players and keep them on the edge of their seats. The Sixth Axis, also awarding it a perfect score, describes the game as a seamless fusion of compelling storytelling and spine-chilling horror, assuring players a gaming experience that will both terrify and delight. Even IGN, with a rating of 9 out of 10, commends the sequel as a superb survival horror title that surpasses its cult classic predecessor. In any ordinary year, any game exceeding a 90 rating is a strong contender for Game of the Year. Yeah. However, 2023's abundance of exceptional titles is rewriting the rulebook. This year's roster includes both original creations and revamped classics like The Witcher 2. Notable AAA releases such as Resident Evil 4 Remake, Baldur's Gate 3, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, and Marvel's Spider-Man 2 have all achieved critical acclaim, making the race for Game of the Year more competitive and exciting than ever before. You know what sucks? I would love to see an indie game be up here. I would love to see something like Dave the Diver be up here. And you just know that an indie game will never be up here in this. Diablo 4 is trash. Yeah, I wouldn't consider D4 up here either. I wouldn't consider D4 up here either. It's not like the other. Yeah, dude. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Yep. Alan Wake 2 has undoubtedly become a shining star in this constellation of gaming excellence, leaving fans and the industry eagerly awaiting what the future holds in the ever-evolving world of video games. Look, I've already turned on Hape Platuna. Dude, what did Dave the Diver, real quick, I'm going to keep talking about Alan Wake, but just a second. What did Dave the Diver Metacritic at? It's really good. Look, dude, Dave the Diver's a 90. Yeah, I don't think D4's probably trash, but it's not what a lot of people expect it to be. Dave the Diver's a 90, guys. This game is Metacritic rated up there with like almost with like Spider-Man 2 and Alan Wake and all those. This game does, in my opinion, deserves to be up there with Game of the Year contenders, and it won't be nominated because it's an indie game. That sucks. That sucks, dude. But I digress. Let's get back into this. The last thing I kind of want to talk about here is like, I've already started this game up. I don't think that, I'm not saying it deserves Game of the Year, but I think that it deserves to be nominated. That's what I'm saying. I think it deserves to be nominated, dude. I really, really do. I think it deserves to be nominated to be in contention. I don't think it's Game of the Year. I'm not saying that. I don't think it's Game of the Year. But I think it deserves to be nominated. I respect it. I'll agree to disagree with that. I think you have to take into consideration a lot of different things. And for a very small studio doing a game like that I paid $20 for and got 55 hours out of, that was phenomenal and provided unique new gameplay experience every single day. Incredible. Blew me away, dude. Most AAA games don't do that for me. Which is why right now it is the top of the list for me this year. But I respect your opinion, dude. Florida, I think it will. I think it will. Oh, thanks, Cappy. I'll take a look at it. So I've already turned on Alan Wake 2. I did not start a new game or anything. I turned on Alan Wake 2. I've got my MSI and my MSI Afterburner. I've got my Rivia tuner set up. We are going to mess around with some video settings and stuff. It was friendship all along. Yeah. I like it, Vault. So, whenever we start playing Alan Wake 2, then we're gonna mess around with some videos. I've got it set. I've got it capped out at 120 frames to start out with. This is the thing. You can always tell whenever a studio is taking a lot of time to ensure that a player has options, right? And you'll be able to see as soon as I start Alan Wake 2 up, I'll go in and I'll show you all the different video options there are. There was nothing like this in Elden Ring. There was nothing like this in like something like Hogwarts Legacy. Okay. You start up Alan Wake 2, you go to the display settings, the video settings. It's vast. And they give you a lot of options to try and ensure that you're going to have the best visual experience you can get on your rig. It's very, very good. And again, I haven't started gameplay or anything yet, but I can already tell you just from looking at the options, because I normally try to start my games up at least. I don't play games without you guys, but I try to start them up and ensure that everything's running well first. It doesn't always work that way. But I already went in there, and we'll run an overlay for the first day. We'll take a look at, you know, how much GPU it's using at different settings, CPU, RAM, frames, my frame rate and everything. We'll probably cap it to play at 60 frames, but I'm going to keep the cap at 120 to begin with, just to see what kind of flux we're getting and stuff like that. So we'll do a little bit of some messing around with Alan Wake, just because, you know, I'm running a GPU that's right in between the recommended and the minimum. I've got a 3070. They recommend a 4080, minimum 2080, I think. So I'm like right in between that. So it'll be interesting to see what we're able to get with different settings. But they've got DLSS, FSR. They've got everything in there you could want to try and mess with different settings and see what you're going to get out of the game. You know, so we're going to play around with it a little bit visually whenever we start up Alan Wake 2, as soon as we finish Alan Wake 1, which is coming up in a few minutes. Let's go. It was a great news segment, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. As always, man, let's get some tunes popping off. It's gonna be a good flipping day. Happy Saturday, everybody. Thanks for the new segment again. We're about to pop into some video game gameplay for the rest of the day here, but I'll segue us out of this new segment first and just say thanks to everybody for being the amazing people you are, being a part of what we do here on The Constant. If anybody's hanging out right now that is not familiar with what we do, this is the jam, man. We're live 6 days a week. Start at roughly 6 a.m. CST, CDT every single day. Besides Wednesdays, we always kick it off with a video gaming news segment, like we're just summing up right now. Try to stay current on what's going on in the industry, and then we move on and play games for the rest of the day, okay? So, I don't know. All of the previous video gaming news segments, gameplay playthroughs that we've done, funny clips and highlights, stuff like that. All that content is on the Twitch page and the YouTube channel. And if you're enjoying this content, maybe go take a look at some of that other content. And if you're enjoying it, come hang out with us, man. We're a community that's all about good vibes, good peoples, man, taking care of one another, and just having a good time, enjoying the world that we all love so much in video games. So, you know, if it seems like you're kind of jammed, then we'd love to have more people come be a part of what we do, and that's what it's about, baby. So, happy flipping Saturday. We're gonna go play games. I'm gonna run us an outro real quick to just kind of cut off the news segment here, but I'll be right back, and then we'll get started with the gameplay. All right, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind, and we'll catch everybody again tomorrow for more news on October 29th. All right.